Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom in Germany. Now it's time to take a look at the just announced Toy Soldiers War Chest.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I know. DR here is the founder of developer Signal Studios. DR, yes. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Toy Soldiers War Chest is the third Toy Soldiers game.
Yeah. I gotta uncomfortably lean closer.
No, it's okay. Let's get close. Let's get close.
Right.
Let's get well acquainted. Now I'm a fan of the first two games,
right?
Which are sort of action tower defense games.
It's kind of a blended right here already.
Yeah.
They jumped right into the turret, so always the hook of Toy Soldiers is that it's kind of a tower defense action strategy blend, but there's really nothing on the battlefield. You can't take control of yourself.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's kind of like the hook that we've always had since the first original one.
So what's the focus here? The last one was Toy Soldiers Cold War, which had an 80s action figure.
Yeah, we used the Commando.
Yeah.
And then the first one was World War I.
Yeah.
And this time we've gone kind of the original idea behind Toy Soldiers that we never really got to was to have a mashup of characters, different armies of toy box with a nice flavor. So what we've kind of announced, well, there's going to be a lot more. Right now we're kind of showing off the first two for their diversity. The first one's Kaiser, which as you can see here, and this is actually the third-person control. Which
kind of horrifying watching these teddy bears march towards us.
So what's coming at you is Starbright, who leads the Star Power Army, and they've invaded Kaiser's toy box diorama.
Okay.
And so you can see Star Power is kind of like the girl toys, the toys that bring you back to like kind of a young girl.
I don't know. I don't know if you can mention
and Care Bears.
I don't know if you can
Pegasus
mention
and unicorns but she's pretty badass at the same token. It's not she's not just all cute and rainbow. She's kind of but Kaiser's what we've got here. And Kaiser's defending his base against Starbright. And basically there's more of that to come. The diversity of armies. And it's kind of like a mashup this time, which is kind of what the original plan always was. We just kind of, small studios, small stuff. We kind of stopped at World War I.
I got you.
And then
Interesting. So you got the Kaiser back. Will you have armies from Cold War back as well?
We're not really talking. Right now we're just kind of focused. We're bringing Kaiser back.
Okay.
And we've got the Star Power Army. And then we're going to have two more at launch. And then there's even more to come after that.
Cool.
One of the new things we just saw there was we always had destructible environments. You can see everything blowing up. One thing we just missed was when we blew up the bridge, we added dynamic pathing to this one.
Okay.
So players can actually affect the pathing of the enemies. So you can blow up a bridge, and now they're going to route themselves. Those are the rainbow pony, armored rainbow ponies that are actually representative tanks in Star Power's army. Now out comes the deadly Rolly Cat, which is actually a piggy pig.
Nice. Oh, they're all like...
But if it's really pretty destructive. If it touches anything, it just blows it up. And so everything is balanced between the armies still.
Yeah.
Basically, the Rolling Cat's like the equivalent of a Kaiser AV7, or Star Power is a usable character just like Kaiser. They all have secondary, primary weapons.
Sure.
We've added a lot of... Another thing we've changed is, it used to be in Cold War we had an action meter and you just get a barrage. Now if you see on the left-hand screen, you fill up your action meter and different things get unlocked. I think you've got, it goes from hero to vehicle. Right now we're calling in a vehicle, which is Kaiser's, the AV7 tank. And then you can control it. So you can kind of make a decision on what you want to do. It goes all the way up to like your barrage, which you'll see a little later. So that's one of the things we've added. Dynamic pathing. We've changed the upgrade structure, so everything's got its own tree now. So it's more like it's more intense and more strategic. You have your weapon. In the previous Toy Soldiers, it would just flip over and you get the next weapon.
Sure.
Now we have, when you upgrade, like the howitzers or whatever, you have a choice between health, range, or damage. And as you do that, visual upgrades, you're starting to build your toy up. So if you upgrade health, you'll get sandbags. And then you'll get the next thing and the next thing. If you change range, you get a little guy with binoculars on him or whatever. And you kind of can collect your toys and build them up that way now. Sure. So you're more attached to your units now. And then We have perks. We've added perks, so there's perks you can bring with you. And again, you build up the Kaiser. Each one, like in this diorama is Kaiser's diorama.
Yeah.
You'll see in a little bit, Star Power or Starbright has their own diorama.
Okay, good.
And then every other faction, or what you will, has their own little unique twist and diorama and everything, basically. So we've really kind of went a little nutty with it this time.
That's good. I like a little nutty.
Yeah.
What are these aerial units we're seeing here?
Which ones?
The aerial units, are they flying?
Oh, that's
flying
Star
Pegasus?
Power's flying unicorn Pegasus. She's got, I can't remember, the fairy healers,
Okay.
and the Pegasus. The Pegasus is kind of a biplane or a plane, if you will.
Yeah.
It has rainbow bombs and a glitter shooter. The fairies they heal people heal their own units on the battlefield. So again, we're just introducing more strategy to the game. And again, you have to fill up your action meter. What they're doing right now is getting up to their barrage. You have to be using your units because we always want to encourage people to get into the action and have some fun. So once you can see on the left-hand side, now it's going to unlock the Zeppelin, and you get more money and a stronger economy basically in the game. Once we unlock the Zeppelin, it should happen shortly. There it is, Zeppelin available. Oh, they're pretty mean, those rainbow fairies. So now you call in your Zeppelin, and that's like your ultimate weapon.
Sure.
That's basically going to clear the battlefield, and you're good to go. And that's kind of what we had in the previous Toy Soldiers.
Sure.
Commando, excuse me.
Yep.
Commando was a call in your hero. Now you can do it at any time. And we've spent a lot of time improving. Before the small studio, controlling characters in Cold War was kind of like imagine a popsicle stick.
Yeah, sure.
So that's all the money we had, right? This time we spent a lot of time on improving like the third-person controls. It controls a lot more like what you would expect. It's really great. This is actually Starbright's army.
Okay, nice.
So you can see the difference. This is actually the equivalent of a machine gun, and what we've got is actually it's a bubble gun. So we're shooting bubbles, which are deadly. And you can see the detail. We go into, there's fairies tossing, buddy bears, as we call them, into the air. As you can see, the guys are flying up. The bubbles are very destructive. This is another weapon that's based on kind of like Cold War when we had to fire the mashup weapons. This is like a sun reflector. So that's like her anti-vehicle, or anti-tank, anti-vehicle weapon. Her diorama is completely different. It's in the backyard. She's out in her own backyard playing with her toys. You got just like the Kaiser, you build up your action meter. Now we're calling in Starbright. Starbright's got her primary weapon. And again, we have multiple primary weapons and secondary weapons. She's got a glitter gun. But again, don't let her, as we've been saying, don't let her cuteness fool you. She's a mean son of a bitch. And she's got hard grenades, glitter gun. This is the coolest thing coming up here. Her secondary weapon's a cake wand, which is super devastating. Basically wipes out the whole battlefield. Her vehicle's the Pegasus, which you brought up before.
Yeah.
So she calls in kind of a flying unit. Again, this just kind of shows you how each character is unique. You kind of can go through your tree. Each character has their own campaign. So when you pick a character, you're kind of going through and building you're doing it again, kind of building up that character.
Sure.
We have multiplayer. We're gonna have co-op again, so you can fight Starbright next to Kaiser.
Yeah. Nice.
And again, that's kind of always been the original vision of Toy Soldiers. Like, what would it be like if Kaiser fought Pat in World War II or whatever? And that's really what we want to bring about. And the reason why we're starting by announcing these two is because they're so much different.
Yeah, the Starbright's very different.
Starbright's a lot different than Kaiser. And again, it's just, Toy Soldiers is supposed to just be kind of a lighthearted, fun game, and we really want to bring out that. This is her Big Bertha, which is a toy snail with a golf ball. You can control the shell cam, just like the previous games. You can control anything, basically.
Yeah.
We're expanding on that a lot.
I like the camera that follows the shell.
Yeah, that's totally controllable shell cams, which we have from previous games.
So would you say this is the Toy Soldiers game you've always wanted to make?
It is. It's going to be. We're really excited. It's going to be one more thing. So that's an example of how they visually changed. That's the bubble gun, but they've upgraded the defenses on it. So it's got crystal defenses.
Yeah.
Also the range, you see the teddy bear down there with the telescope.
Yeah.
Now it has a broader range.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the toy soldiers that we originally envisioned. As you know, it's going to be on PlayStation this time.
Yeah.
It's going to be multi-platform.
Yeah.
We're super excited about that. Ubisoft picked it up from Microsoft as we fulfilled that last contract.
Yeah,
so
you
we're super
reacquired the
excited
rights
to have
from
them as
Microsoft,
the
right?
publisher. What's that?
You reacquired the rights from Microsoft, right?
Yeah, after we fulfilled our contract, Microsoft was kind enough to let us acquire the rights back.
Yeah.
And we went and got what we think is one of the premier publishers. We're super pumped to be working with them on this.
How are you taking advantage of new-gen hardware, PS4, Xbox One?
Sorry?
How are you taking advantage of the new-gen hardware, the PS4 and Xbox One?
Well, it's toy soldiers, so it's we had a dynamic pathing. We have more polygons, but the game's never. To be honest with you, it's totally not really about like having our mind-blowing graphics.
Sure. I get that. Cool.
We have more polygons though.
Yeah, good.
Fancier shaders, for sure.
That's always very
more
important.
AI.
You just can't have enough polygons.
More units, more destruction.
Yeah.
It's just more everything, basically.
Toy Soldiers War Chest. Do we know when is there a release window?
Early 2015.
Early 2015.
Yep.
All right. On
PlayStation 4, PC, Xbox One.
Cool.
All at the same time.
DR, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very cool. I'm very excited. Stay tuned. We've got lots more to come here at IGN Live from Gamescom in Germany, brought to you by Dead Island 2, right after these messages.